Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Obey Tailgater S, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. It's hard to believe that we have gone through, as of this video, 14 of the tuners already. There's only 3 more left. By the time this video goes live, we'll only have 1 more to be released, the Previon, I do believe. And yeah, so we've only got 2 more weeks after this of Will It Off-Road Tuners Edition, and we'll have 2 weeks of Will It Off-Road at the races, but Will It Off-Road might continue past that. I've been talking to the Vainglorious community about maybe seeing if it's possible to jump onto the Project Homecoming 5M server, and oh dear, that rear-wheel drive's kind of kicking me in the ass there with its oversteer. But anyways, maybe jumping on the Project Homecoming 5M server and doing Will It Off-Road with some of the meme vehicles. Maybe do about a month's worth of those. We wouldn't be able to do them at the races, simply because, you know, the racetrack doesn't exist on the Project Homecoming testing server. But I'm going to have to reach out to somebody within Project Homecoming to see if they'd be okay with a bunch of us jumping on there to do some testing and find out. But yeah, if that works out, that may be our plan. Hey, make sure you're playing Will It Off-Road Bingo. I almost won last week, and I know Sparing Donkey almost won last week as well. Click on the link in the description down below. Then once you get to that website, click on Generate New Card. Then just tap or click on things as they happen in the video. And if you get bingo, throw it in the comments down below. We've only had, gosh, less than 5. I know it's less than 5. I think it's 3 or 4 bingo winners in the entire history of Will It Off-Road. So, love to see somebody get a bingo. And of course, if you do get bingo, you can come talk to us about it as well on the Vainglorious Discord server, where we would love to have you. We have people from a variety of platforms who play a huge variety of games, and we even have non-gaming channels as well. You can hit the description in the link below for that. I'm sure it's probably popped up on screen by now as well. So the Tailgater S, I mean, it's a good sedan. It actually turns in a good time for sedans, but as far as the rest of the tuners cars, it's nothing too special. Unlike a lot of the Obey cars, it is only rear-wheel drive, and that hurts it. If this car had been all-wheel drive, I think it would have gotten up the mountain much quicker, though then it would probably suffer from a lot of the Obey understeer. I thought I wasn't going to make it here, but again, throttle modulation off-roading is important. So I just found that point where the wheels wouldn't spin so much and managed to get it up. And we're here, 2 minutes, 50 seconds. So, Will It Off-Road? Yeah. And you know, it did fairly well. Number 1 out of 22 sedans that we've tested, 3.5 seconds faster than the previous number 1 vehicle in sedans, which is the Zirconium Stratum. In terms of overall, out of 316 vehicles that we've tested as of this video, it's 85th. It was 0.03 seconds slower than the Neo, and then weird company this car keeps, 0.12 seconds faster than the Mammoth Squatty. Yeah, I had to do a double take too. So a sports car, sedan, and off-roader, just boom right there. It's 10th out of 14 tuners, 3.5 seconds slower than the Remus, and 1.8 seconds faster than the ZR, or if you prefer, ZR 350. So not a bad car overall. Had a lot of fun testing it. We had a lot of different vehicles for support vehicles on this one. And of course, you can be one of those support vehicles if you're a member of the Vainglorious Discord server and you play GTA Online on PC. Then you're welcome to join us when we record these every Sunday afternoon, as well as the other community videos that we record on Sunday afternoons. There's just a few general rules to follow, nothing too strict. just enough to make sure the video gets recorded in an orderly fashion and that we can maintain some standards. But other than that, it's pretty much anything goes. And we have a lot of fun, and you can partake in that fun even if you aren't able to join us for recording by checking out the behind-the-scenes version of these videos, but those are only available to channel supporters. So whether you're a channel member here on YouTube, or you've made a monthly pledge on Patreon, or if you are a Twitch subscriber, you get special access if you have those services linked to your Discord to a Vainglorious supporters channel on the Vainglorious Discord server. I've said Discord a lot and Vainglorious a lot in this video. Oh, the tree of mini crashes almost got a victim, but not quite. Had a little bit of trouble here in the dirt. But anyways, that behind the scenes video, I think it's the better version of the video. It's a little bit longer. You get to see some of the stuff we cut out. Ooh, nice drift. Good driving skill there, Brandon. You get to see some behind the scenes stuff that we cut out, a little bit longer of the video, like our drive back up, and just the shenanigans we get up to. Man, this thing has terrible brakes. We're down to 26. So we're going to take it back to the top of Mount Chiliad for, let's face it, this is everybody's favorite part. I hear a gun firing behind me, so it's probably best to go. Didn't get the best start, kind of spun it on the landing, and then didn't really get off of there. So everybody's getting down ahead of me here. And of course, since everybody treats this as a race, you know, they're all like, woo, we're ahead of him. So it looks like we've got a drafter. I think that's what Hobo's in. Schwinn's in. Armored Shafter. I think that was a Turismo Classic that we just crashed on. Maybe a Cheetah Classic. I didn't get a very good look at it. And then I'm not sure what the gold car is. We'll probably get a good look at it here in a little bit. But already everybody's shedding quite a few body parts. And of course, that's what makes the damage descent so much fun. Just watching the calamity, watching the cars go crunch, do massive flips like that one and go flying through the air. You know, everybody's been here on the top of Mount Chiliad, and then you fall off, and you wind up probably in this ravine. Holy cow, that was a great accidental six stunt. That was a lot of air. Too bad I didn't land it. It would have been perfect if I would have landed it. But hey, it got me really far ahead of everybody else. So I'm going to win. I mean, wait a minute. It's not a race. It's not a race. But I'm going to win. But yeah, Tailgater doing fine. I mean, it's bumpy, it's muddy, it's a rear-wheel drive car, so it's going to slide around a little bit. Try to clear the tree or the wood pile, almost, just to bounce off of it and knock that little bit of wood free. We're down 1 minute, 35 seconds as a Sultan wants to trade paint, whatever. That woman just shouted at me that I'm a nobody. That's rude. Most of the windows are gone. Half of all the lights are on the right fender and right rear door. Missing door, hood, and trunk won't close. And it does have, I'm pretty sure, whoa, something went by, slightly bent wheels. And we'll take a look at our support vehicles. Oh, Stafford was the other support vehicle. We'll take a look at the support vehicles, and then that's going to bring us to our next vehicle. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one. The Emperor Vectre. And I think I spelled Emperor right. I never can remember if the second E comes before the O or not. I always get confused on Emperor. They both look right to me. Anyways, this is my white and orange car. It even has very orange wheels. And a bad camera angle. And Malk calling. Jeez. Hey, see, you ain't been on that laptop. Shut up, Malk. I'm never going to go on that laptop. Take your laptop and never mind. So the Vectre is a car that I like quite a bit. I race with it quite often. In fact, the tuners races, I think I race in this more than anything else. Maybe not so much in the pursuit races, simply because there's a lot of really long straights. And the Vectre doesn't have a whole lot of top end, but what it does have is really solid grip and good acceleration. And those two things are really going to come in handy going up this mountain. This was just a great run. I didn't really have to fight with the car all that much. There were a couple little places, you know, of course, bushes and things like that slow it down. But in general, it was just a great drive. And it's a good car. I don't think we're going to see anything beat it. I know that's a bit of a spoiler from the tuners class. I just don't think we're going to. it just does that well. Once we get to the numbers here in a little bit, I think you will understand why I don't think anything's going to come close. Maybe the Sultan Classic RS Custom, whatever it's called. Maybe because it's all-wheel drive and it has 0 off-road traction loss, so it's going to be able to go pretty fast in the dirt. That might... Ooh, there was one of the problems I had. The acceleration, a bit more than I anticipated, and I almost drove off the freaking mountain. But that was my fault, really, not really the car's fault. Sadly, it did cost a little bit of time. I think it could have moved up in the overall position probably 1 slot if it hadn't been for that one mistake. That's how close the top slots are, by the way, for most of them. There's one vehicle that pretty clearly dominates everything else, but then everything else after that is all separated by just tenths and hundredths of a second. So we're barely over 2 minutes, and the Vectre's already here at the top. Went a little bit wide for my climb after going a little bit shallow in the Tailgater. And we're up 2 minutes, 31 sideways seconds. So will it off-road? Yes. Yes, let's start with where it stands in tuners. And it is the new #1 tuner when it comes to climbing Mount Chiliad. 6 seconds. Faster than the #2 car, which is the Jester RR. That's why I think it's going to be hard for anything else to touch this. The Sultan Classic, Sultan RS Classic, probably going to be the only one that might have hope of doing it. And it's going to be because of the all-wheel drive and the 0 off-road traction loss. That puts the Vectre #2 in sports out of 60 sports cars. Take this with a grain of salt because the #1 vehicle was the #1 vehicle overall for road off-road and sports for a very long time. It is 8.35 seconds slower than the Winnie SE Sport. That little car rocketed up the mountain in like a 224, I think, maybe a 222. Yeah, no, it was something outrageously low. Whoa! Hi, guys. Oops, somebody bounced off the mountain. Bye, Charlie. And they all decided to take spin lines there, and they all came down in front of me. There goes Obo's bumper. I think I'm the only one unscathed at this point. Unfortunately, it did start raining. I was hoping to get down the mountain before it really got wet. It's on the ascent. I will not do a run in the rain, and when it rains, I make sure it's dry first. That hiker caused the front end to lift just enough that I could not get the car back under control. I had no steering for a second, and because of that, I ran off. But look at this. I would say even in the rain, but it hasn't been raining long enough for it to be slippery from the rain yet. It will be soon, though, very soon. But right back up onto the trail. Everybody else back up here waiting on me. Yeah, that hiker did some damage. A little bit of a premature damage descent there. Anyways, the stats. 8.35 seconds slower than the SE Sport. 0.08 faster than the Penumbra FF. I mean, just barely squeaking it out there with the Penumbra FF. And #7 overall. It's rare that we see a top 10 car anymore. And this is one of them. It is 0.7 seconds slower than a DR1. And then, oh, tree of mini crashes. Hello. 0.08 fast, or 0.7 fast, slower than the DR1. And then the Penumbra FF is right behind it in the overall category as well as in the sports category. But yeah, that #1 in tuners, I think it's going to hold it. I'll be surprised if the Sultan can get it done, just because the Sultan doesn't quite have the same acceleration and speed. So yeah, we're down 2 minutes, 51, almost 52 seconds. So back to the top of Mount Chiliad. Wait, hold on. Not that. There we go. We had to let Hobo do his jump. It's been a while since I remembered to edit one of those jumps in, so I had to hold there for a minute because I do like seeing those jumps. I like it when they do those. Much better start for our damage descent. Pretty good landing there, so I was able to get on the throttle in reverse, but I immediately am being attacked by another Vectre. I think there was a truck involved at some point. I didn't get quite a clear look at everybody who was in that melee. But right now it's the two Vectors out in front. Though, wait a minute. I think the truck's already down because like for some reason he went off really. I don't remember. Oh yeah, he fell off the mountain during the controlled descent, so Shin went to pick him up with a cargo bomb. And then when he dropped him, he bounced and just started rolling to the damage descent. So he was down in his rebel. Oh, whoa, yellow streak. He was down in his rebel just a little bit faster than the rest of us. Rain doesn't really matter on the damage descent. It's the damage descent's just for fun and giggles anyway. Oh, I could have threaded the needle, but instead I am parked on top of a donkey. What are you gonna do? I mean, when they get in your way, park on top of them. That's about all you can do. Couldn't get turned in to make it through there. Now I'm sideways. There we go. 3-point turn. And we're into the tunnel. I try once again to clear the wood pile and once again fail. If I would have gone just a little more to the right or left, I could have done it. But I hit the tree instead. But we are down in 1 minute, 38, almost 39 seconds. So we'll take a look at the damage on the Vectre. And 2 of the windows are gone. Most of the lights seem to be gone. I couldn't quite make up my mind on the headlights. The ones on the left look like they are out, even though they're not cracked. The hood, left fender, and right door are missing. The bumpers are damaged. They're both just hanging off. The door in the trunk won't close. The remaining door, I should say. Slightly bent wheels. Maybe. I can't really tell because they've already stanced. And some slight body damage. There's a quick glimpse at all of our support vehicles, including probably the best ass rope on the planet. And that's going to do it for this week's Willett Off-Road. I hope you played along with Willett Off-Road Bingo. And if you didn't load up that bingo card, go back, watch the video again. And leave it bingo in the comments if you win. And somebody's photobombing me. Come hang out with us on the Vainglorious Discord server. We have 2 more weeks left of Willett Off-Road Hobos trying to get him out of the photobomb. Yeah, it's great. And we'll see you next week with, I forget what, I think the Ubermacht. Yeah, the Ubermacht. Whatever it's called, and then an older Ubermacht as well. And until next time, I'm Brandon, getting out of my car and reminding you to stay vainglorious.